So let's jump into some third-party news of something that's really cool that I'm really excited about. I always love Iron Factory and all their crazy small Transformer stuff and pocket-sized Transformer stuff, giving us that masterpiece quality that fits in your pocket. Iron Factory has yet another amazing release. They're going to be doing a repaint of their Wheeljack mold, which was known as Hex Wrench, and they're going to be doing it in their Iron Factory EX-39D Dustfog, aka their version of Exhaust, also known as Marlboro Wheeljack back in the day for many of us. And I like this because this was always a very controversial character, his history and everything with that. And I like historical Transformer characters. For people who don't know, Marlboro's Wheeljack, that's what we fans called it. For the longest time, what that was, it was a Diaclone repaint of the Wheeljack mold. It was never released by Hasbro or anything like that. It was just available via Diaclone. And it was essentially the Wheeljack mold, slight retool of the face and some little pieces here and there. And it had the Marlboro's color scheme and all kinds of little, cigarette-related nods to it. Now, what's cool about this, and why I like talking about this third-party thing, is the original Marlboro's Wheeljack, because they wanted to avoid 100% using the Marlboro's name, they called it Marlboro. Like it's Marlboor. So just by changing one letter, flipping around the boro to brewer or bore, they were able to not have to pay trademark reasons. They did the exact same thing with Mirage many years ago too with Diaclone. Instead of it having Syntans, they had, I think it was Gintans or something like that. Just making the G into a C, as the C into a G. So that being said, it's funny because the original Diaclone toy did this in order to avoid trademarking. What did the third-party guys do? They did the exact same name. So we don't got Marlboro, we got Marlbor. So I love this a lot. This is really good. A lot of the other decos on it and stuff, there's nothing really too much to mention. They again, keeping true to the original toy back from the 70s and the early 80s, they left the 598, which was on the original toy. Same thing when we get to the Masterpiece one. The Masterpiece one had its, when we finally had an official name for this character in Exhaust in 2015, it was Masterpiece 23, I believe. It was crazy because that went through its own controversy in that it was like, it was not going to be released because of the cigarette connection and how it was also affecting trademarks. And in the end, I believe it was the collector coin didn't get released with it. And then in the end, we ended up getting another extra accessory, which was the immobilizer. There was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on with that. So this character, even his Masterpiece toy, had problems. The only time it didn't have problems was in Transformers Prime, one of the Legion scale, or the Legend scale, if you will. They did a repaint of Transformers Prime Wheeljack. They called it Hyperspeed Wheeljack in, I think it was 2012. And it was done in those Marlboro's color. And somehow that one got away with it, so I love that one. That's great. But we got here Dustfog now, the Iron Factory one. I don't know about Dustfog. They could have called it, they could have called it something else. I don't know. I feel like they could have, a Dustfog doesn't convey, the cigarette smoke. Maybe they could have called him Vapor. I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you would have thought on that one. But one of the decos on this that people have been noticing, they're like, what is CGC and 11th written on the side? Now, CGC means a lot of things in America. It could mean Screw Attack Gaming Convention, which is a video game convention done by the Screw Attack crew and Rooster Teeth in Dallas, Texas. It could be the Star City Games Convention, which is a magic convention. That kind of moves around all over the United States. But that's not related to either of those. This Iron Factory Dustfog Exhaust exclusive is going to be a limited run of 1,999 and will be exclusively available in mid-December at CGC. But which CGC is it? Shanghai Games Convention. So this is going to be available in Shanghai. And the 11th next to it is because it's going to be the 11th annual of it. So it's written right on there on the exclusive itself. Some people might not dig that, but that's kind of the name of the game. And I mean, the past CGC exclusives by Iron Factory, there has been other ones done in the past. A good example, they did an Acid Storm repaint for their Seeker Jet. Never had any problems being able to get them afterwards. All the, again, to name names, TF Source, Big Bad Toy Store, they all, and, ages 3 and up, they all end up getting it in the end on their website. So there won't be too much of a difficulty to pick this up. Now, obviously, the differences between this and the Hex Wrench, the original Wheeljack, obviously is all the aesthetics and the remolding. So it has the remolding of the accessories. It has the new head sculpt, the new paint scheme, and it looks like Exhaust, but it's a masterpiece scaled. It's a masterpiece toy scaled at a legend scale. Typical, amazing, top-tier Iron Factory quality stuff. Really excited about this. This is awesome. This is one I'm going to for sure pick up because of the third-party stuff that I actually do get. This is the stuff that barks up my tree because this is a character that I know for a fact Hasbro is never going to revisit in the future. I know for a fact it's a character that when Takara tried to do it, they had their problems with the masterpiece. And what I like about this one is it's third party, and they actually went with the actual spelling of the original 1970s Diaclone release for Marlboro in Marlboor. So, I mean, this is great. This is great. I love it. Let me know what you think. This is so cool. And if you're interested, if you're in the Shanghai area, CGC is going to be able to have it. There's going to be, again, pretty much 2,000 of these, 1,999, but 2,000 of these. But otherwise, check your local online retailers that are for Transformers. I'm pretty sure this guy's going to pop up at some point.